It's a very warm welcome to one of our own, Jamie Mullarkey. Jamie, thanks very much for joining us. You've got a big fight coming up at UFC 272. I've got to ask, how was fight camp first of all? Did you get to train with Alexander Volkanovski and the rest of the freestyle crew once again?
Yeah, mate. Yep. Trained with the Volk. Got all my camp done down at freestyle, so feeling good.
It's a featured prelim against Jalen Turner. It's a good spot to be in. I know you've had fights on main cards before, but do you feel like you're starting to get noticed even more by the wider MMA populace?
Yeah, I do. I feel like this fight is probably one that I think a lot of the fans are looking forward to, you know. We're both up and comers, both hungry, looking to break into that top 20. So, yeah, it does feel good to get a little bit more recognised, you know. It's like all the hard work that we do and put ourselves through coming to fruition now.
Of course. Well, you're both really exciting fighters as well. Both have an array of finishes on your record. I spoke to Corey Sandhagen on this show not too long ago, and he said that he loves not being the boring guy. He loves entertaining people. He loves the beauty of the sport and getting crowds, you know, hyped up and stuff. Is that something that you feed off of as well, or is it just all about the wins for you?
No, absolutely. Like I love being known to be an exciting fighter. I think it's what got me to the UFC, and I think that's exactly what the UFC wants. You know, they want that are trying to finish the fight, and, going to kill. So that's always my mentality, and yeah, that's like how I've always fought. That's what my record pretty much speaks for itself.
Well, just speaking of your record, I just wanted to ask about that. You began your UFC career with 2 straight losses, but bounced back with 2 big knockout wins. What did you change for the results to start swaying your way? Did you change anything in camp, or was it a mindset thing?
It was a little bit of both, I think. Like I upped the level of my my rounds and my partners. Like obviously, going down training with Alex and the whole freestyle crew under Joe Lopez made a big difference, man. Like just in the level, like with surrounding yourself with guys that are on the same path as you, you can only get better. You know, there was literally no easy rounds there, so I got to contribute to that. And then I think like being more comfortable with being in the UFC is another big factor. Like just from my mental, you know, just up here, just knowing that I belong here, and now I'm starting to show it.
Did you doubt yourself when you started? Did you feel like you didn't belong?
There was never like doubt. I always knew that I belonged here, but you know, like I had my big break into the UFC, and like when I finally made it, all those hard fights, that hard work to get there. When I finally made it, I had my first 2 fights were losses. So even regardless of whether I thought, you know, my second fight was a win or whatever, on paper it was 2 losses. So there was a little bit of like questioning myself, like, you know, like am I really like good enough to be in the UFC? Like, but they're just those internal battles that, you know, as fighters we have to overcome. And obviously from my last 2 performances, like I've cemented in my brain and in a lot of other people's eyes, like I do belong here. Like this is where I belong, and this is what I'm going to do.
I don't think there's any doubts about that. Jalen Turner, what excites you most about fighting this guy?
It's a fan-friendly fight, man. Like we're 2 up-and-comers, obviously. We're coming off win streaks. I'm excited to stand and trade with Jalen because he's technical and he's long, but only if you let him, you know. Like I think a lot of people like let him get set and get set in a rhythm, whereas I'm going to be like dictating the pace of the fight. But it excites me because he's dangerous, and I know he likes to scrap, so he won't be one of those marathon runners that runs away for 3 rounds.
This guy took Josh Kalibau's O. Is it personal for you in trying to avenge your mate?
It's not personal. Josh took that fight actually in me, funnily enough. So it's kind of funny how it's gone full circle, this fight. So 2 years ago, I was supposed to fight Jalen, and Josh took my place, up a weight class, went into the fight, not ready, not quite ready for the fight. So the odds were stacked against him. So it will mean something to get that win back from my mate. You know, like it's just adds a little bit more incentive. But to be honest, it's business as usual. I'm just seeing an opponent in front of me that's standing in my way. So got to get him out of there.
And we'll all be watching. Jamie, at what point do you start thinking about rankings and your standing in the UFC and getting a number next to your name? Do you feel like you're close or still a while away?
No, I think I'm very close. Like, I honestly think that this fight will shoot one of us into the top 20. If not very close. Like, I'm knocking out that door, you know what I mean? And just with the more experience that I'm getting before I crack that top 20, that top 15, it's even better. So, to be honest, I don't think about it too much though. Like, rankings are rankings. It doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day, because I'm a fighter. I'm gonna fight whoever is standing in front of me, and this weekend that's Jalen Turner.
I always find it's a really interesting question to ask, no matter who I talk to, because everyone seems to have sort of a different opinion of it. But the belt, do you care about the belt? Do you want to be champion, or do you just like fighting, feeding your family, getting paid, or is that something that you must have, that championship?
No, of course, it's what I look at, and it should be every fighter's goal. Like, if you're not looking at that belt, wanting that wrapped around your waist, then what are you doing? Like, you're just going to be a journeyman fighter. I believe that that's the end goal, but it's the journey that is like the most important to me as a fighter. You know, like looking back at my career, like the journey is obviously the most important thing, but that is the goal. That's the goal, is to get to the belt. So that's always in my mind.
Jamie Mullarkey, what a pleasure it always is. We can't wait for this fight. This is set to be an absolute banger. Thank you so much for your time, and all the best, my friend. Go well.
Oof, thanks, brother.